Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a horror movie review and I'll be having a look at the movie Apartment 1303 3D. Or I guess you could also call it Apartment 1303 3D, but I guess it doesn't really roll off the tongue that bad. So this is actually a remake of an Asian movie of the same name, and as you can guess, it's probably your stereotypical sort of apartment with a sort of girly ghost in there, like you've seen like this in this type of film probably 100 times before. So things like The Ring, The Grudge, stuff like that. Now this is probably certainly one of the poorer efforts, I have to say. I won't go into too much detail on the plot so sort of avoid sort of spoilers. Suffice to say, it involves a family, a mother who is kind of this has-been sort of rock star, and her two daughters, one of which who sort of moves into the apartment, and sort of strange things start to happen. She starts seeing images of a ghostly girl. This time she's a long girl with blonde hair rather than the dark hair, being an American remake, of course. And she's kind of getting these sort of like cryptic messages from this strange kid who sort of like is down the hall telling her that there's been a murder there at some point, that a mother and child there want them to leave, and she finds out from the police ultimately that there's been some sort of series of deaths there involving people sort of jumping out the balcony and things like that. So add to the mix, you've got this girl's sort of boyfriend who sort of turns up, who's just an undercover cop as well. So as a ghost story, however, it doesn't really work because, quite frankly, it's not very scary. The effects look kind of budget. The production values don't look too bad, I have to say. I mean, obviously, most of it's just shot in an apartment, so it doesn't really need a lot of money for the sort of sets and stuff like that. So it looks like it's kind of going to be a higher budget from when it probably is. However, when the actual ghost turns up, he just looks like a girl, ultimately, just wandering around, and she doesn't really do anything all that ghostly, apart from kind of, they have these sort of jump cuts, but it looks like jump cuts rather than the kind of ghost sort of, you know, phasing in different areas of the house, things like that. I don't know, it's just not a particularly good film. The acting, I don't think is particularly good as well. The worst thing, I suppose, is the way that these people react. I mean, this is going to be a mild spoiler. Someone dies, as you'd expect in this film, and the reactions that the kind of people close to that person have, they don't seem to have been affected by it at all. It's pretty crap and pretty kind of rust, unfortunately. The line delivery is pretty poor. I mean, you've got Rebecca De Mornay in there, who's obviously a fairly established actress, but to be honest with you, she plays the mum. She doesn't really have much to do with the story until right at the very end, and she has quite a lot of screen time, but I think she's only in it because they've got Rebecca De Mornay in it, and they want to have her on the screen doing stuff, but her actual arc in it is just a waste of time until the very sort of last sort of 10 minutes of the film where she actually does something worthwhile, and even then. So I've got to be honest with you, this is probably a bit below average in regards to the sort of quality of the film. It isn't scary, the acting's not very good, the special effects aren't particularly effective, I don't think. There's a couple of shots towards the end maybe where you see things a little bit more ghostly, and I have to say the ending is very, very unsatisfying. I'll be honest with you, you just think, oh, you kind of feel cheated with it, I have to say. So I would certainly, I wouldn't recommend this film unless you are just, you know, a die-hard sort of Asian remake ghost film fan, I suppose. But there's far better. It isn't scary at all, I don't think. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.